Hi CP.
Hi Mummy Bear.
It's been 2 whole weeks since we last had a recap.
I know, coming back here to do a podcast is quite funny. It's like, oh, it feels like a very long time.
There was a huge amount of Chelsea shenanigans going on in between.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
A full week of it being televised.
Yeah.
And I have to hold my hands up and say I didn't watch a single one of them.
No, I didn't get to see any of it either. I'm unfortunately very busy revising.
There just isn't time, is there?
No.
So, but we picked up on some bits and pieces, and we can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, of course.
Some people did.
Exactly.
But what have we been up to?
Yeah, because the nice thing about revising and then also having a garden is that you get to do a bit of both. So in my bits of spare time, popped out into the garden, obviously did some weeding, but then had some amazing planting in the ground of...
Loads of planting in said ground.
Yeah, you did all of the dahlias that you had
18
potted up.
Yeah,
a lot of them. So the beds are now full of dahlias.
Hopefully.
And then I came out with all of my sown straw flowers, which I really looked after in the greenhouse, as well as foxgloves, mix of different colours, some zinnias, the Cinderella peach.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like there was something else. Oh yes, amaranthus. So pop that in as well.
Amaranthus. I thought there was something else as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was something else. I popped also some seeds into the ground, into the veggie beds, which was really good to do. So we've got all sorts of different. We've got some purple dragon carrots. Got some usual ones, the Nantes 5, I think that's what they're called. Also got some Egyptian beetroot, really pretty red one. And then the multicoloured rainbow beetroot.
Yummy.
And then some mange tout, some peas, some butternut.
Radishes.
Rainbow
chard
and rainbow kale. So we got a lot of stuff in, which was really good to do.
Yeah, really good. And we've watered it all thoroughly, so fingers crossed.
Completely.
And this is very much rose season in our garden. Our roses are thriving. I'm not quite sure how they're thriving. I did do a hard cut back of most of them, which seemed to have eliminated a lot of the black spot.
The leaves, when I look at them, are so lush.
On most of them, yeah. They're
all of them
sort of
pretty
glossy looking, but we've got a few still with black spot. But as far as I'm concerned, we're just always going to have that. And I'm not too worried about it.
Completely.
I mean, we wouldn't be able to rival Chris and Dean's garden, for example, with
never.
Hundreds of roses, but we've got some pretty special ones. We put in new ones last year. They're climbing up our makeshift pergola. Well, it's not even makeshift. We built a pergola.
Nice. I like it.
Relatively vertical.
Relatively vertical.
And we more or less have right angles at all the joints. But made out of decking boards. But we've got a lovely yellow rose climbing up, and one corner and at the opposing corner is a beautiful pink one.
Yeah.
Really, really strong pink.
And I'm really, really happy about the colours, because I remember when we were getting them, I really wanted, you know how Monty's always trying to find that perfect apricot tulip? Well, I was trying to find a really nice, that kind of pinky orange to rose together, and so I was like, I want that orangey tinge. Anyways, we saw in the garden centre this rose, and it kind of had this orangey tinge to it, and we were like, oh, brilliant, yes, we're gonna get this rose. I remember we potted it in, and then it got more blooms on it, and we're like, it's yellow. It's actually yellow. And then we saw the colour of the yellow, and yellow can be quite acid colour. It can be, you've got lots of different shades. This is a creamy yellow.
It's a very, very pretty yellow.
It's like a vanilla.
I'm not a huge yellow flower person,
me
but
neither.
This yellow really works, doesn't it?
Exactly. So I was all right with it.
Pretty yellow actually is some of those self-seeding poppies that we've got.
Oh my gosh,
they're a beautiful yellow as well. I've put that on our Instagram page. They're a beautiful
The Californian
yellow.
Poppies.
Yeah,
those
really
are
lovely.
Those are gorgeous. And then we thought that there might be a kind of pinky rose would look nice with it, so we put it in the pinky one, and it's been blooming this season, and it has this kind of orangey tinge in the middle of it. So I was like, yes,
you've got your orange. You like a bit of orange everywhere, don't you?
I do love a bit of orange.
If you can get it.
I think when the two kind of mishmash together, it will be utterly amazing.
I think so. And they smell good as well.
They do smell amazing.
So that's a success in the garden.
Absolute success.
We've had a couple of failures so far this year. One is what we were going to call our Delia beds.
Yeah.
A la Delia from Hone Hill Dreaming. But we realised we were biting off more than we could chew this year.
Yeah.
Putting in 2 more new beds when we're barely keeping our heads above water with all the others.
Yeah, exactly.
It was decided, an executive decision was made.
It was we got a board meeting.
We shall not be putting in more work this year.
Yeah.
So that's why all those dahlias went into the other beds. But I think that's going to look really good because I like that late colour.
Completely.
In the season. And the other failure, of course, was our compost area, which still is just a compost mound.
Yeah.
And I will eventually get around to doing something vaguely clever with that, but not right now, and not this year probably not until October, I think.
I mean, at the moment, luckily, because we had all that amazing compost from years before, put that on the beds. I think the beds will be all right for at least 1 or 2 years now.
Yeah. So that's us, really. Masses of weeding and mowing. And otherwise all looking all right. Fairly under control.
All good.
I have some other gardening news, Sweet Pea.
Oh, do tell.
Just some things I thought you might be interested in. So, you remember the Catherine rose from Harkness Roses that we saw in episode 9?
That was beautiful. That was a coral colour.
Yeah, well, that was right up your street, wasn't it?
That was my rose.
Well, that's now available to order.
Oh my gosh!
So you could get online and start ordering away, tappity tap. And for our friends in the US, it is going to become available, but you've got to wait a little bit longer until autumn 2027. But it will get out your way eventually.
Cool.
Also, Ben Story, you remember him? Lovely,
sure
lovely Ben from episode 21 of Chit Chats. He had that beautiful tiered garden in Clapham.
Oh, I love it.
Really amazingly done.
Yeah.
He said on the Chit Chats when he was open through the NGS, and he's had to move the date for family reasons.
Okay.
So he's no longer open on the 8th. But I guess it's a case of watch this space when he will be able to open his garden.
Cool.
We also had a message from Liz Colebrook from New Hope Daylilies. We had that superb chit chat with her and Fiona Piddock, also from New Hope Daylilies on episode 27.
One of the best chats.
Well, she sent in a link to us on Instagram. It's an Instagram account called Dark Cornwall, and I'll put the link in our stories at some point on our Instagram page. But it's specifically a post about Catherine Bent of Dohrn in South Cornwall.
Okay.
And it's a black and white clip from 1954, and it shows Catherine's extraordinary water divining skills. And you've often asked me about water divining and what it is. And sometimes you'll see someone with a kind of a Y-shaped stick, and they hold 2 ends in each hand.
Yeah.
And then they walk along with this stick will start veering off in all directions to find the water. Well, she doesn't use a stick, she uses her arm. So you can see her on this video. It's an original video from 1954, and she's walking around a field holding her arm aloft, and then suddenly she'll just veer off track along a different route until her hand sort of dives towards the ground, and then she skewers in a flag. And that apparently is where there's water. And it's funny because there are all these men sitting around waiting for her to do her thing. Farmers, I'm assuming, I don't know.
Brilliant.
Men working the land, needing to know where all the water is. But apparently was successful 98 times out of 100.
Wow.
And it says nobody really knows how she did it.
I want her to teach me. If my hand just starts taking me places, that is going to be a lot of fun.
I love things like that. Thank you so much, Liz, for sending that over. We really appreciate it. So I'll as I say, I'll put that on our Instagram stories.
I need to see that.
And then also I came across some exciting news last week, and that is from the University of Nottingham. Some scientists have developed a bacteria-killing coating used in trials of a new antimicrobial paint. And this paint can effectively kill pathogens like MRSA, flu, COVID-19 when it's applied to various surfaces. So if you think of the application of that, if that could be painted on all walls in a hospital, for example, all painted surfaces.
That would be brilliant.
So this team, the scientists from Uni of Nottingham, have collaborated with Indestructible Paint to create a prototype, and it uses chlorhexidine which is apparently a common dental disinfectant.
Oh yes, I have heard of that.
Yeah.
Chlorhexidine.
I wondered if you might have, given your interest in dentistry.
Dentistry, yes.
But the paint lies kind of inert until it dries.
Okay.
So it doesn't leach from surfaces when touched.
Okay, good.
So it just makes it absolutely perfect for hospitals, public spaces, transport, if you think about painting the insides of the tube, buses, planes. Oh my
that'd be
gosh.
so good.
Just think how great that would be. I mean, like I always say, there's always some sort of side effect of things generally that aren't that great. But wouldn't it be amazing if that worked effectively without causing any additional problems to the planet?
It would be utterly brilliant.
So I think it's a case of watch this space. But again, I'll put a link to that on the pod notes.
Yes.
Now, I also have some Chelsea facts, given that we had Chelsea last week.
Other than the Chelsea chop, which is
other than the Chelsea chop, which we know about and
Yeah.
did a bit of this weekend.
I did a lot.
So I thought I'd let you know about some of the medal winners of some of the people we do know from the show or people we've chatted to on Chit Chats.
Brilliant.
But before I do you want some Chelsea fun facts?
I love some fun facts, you know me.
You love your fun facts.
Yeah.
So the Chelsea Flower Show has been held in the 11-acre grounds of the Royal Hospital, Chelsea, London, every year since 1913, apart from gaps during the 2 World Wars and 2020, when we had the pandemic.
Crikes.
Once Britain's largest flower show, it has since been overtaken by RHS Hampton Court Palace Garden Festival.
Interesting.
But it still remains the most prestigious.
Yeah,
now,
it's Chelsea. I mean, come on now.
I think we were aware of those 2 points, but do you know how much a ticket is to go see Chelsea?
Because I've never been and never thought of going, actually.
Well, you're going to have to save up because this blew my mind. I wasn't aware either. For the Friday... It's £137.85.
Are you kidding me? Why is it so expensive?
£111.85 for the Saturday.
That is so wrong. Can you imagine students who are interested in wanting to go see amazing flower shows, but they can't go and spend that much money?
I didn't know this would send you off on
Find
one.
this that is abominable.
Okay. Possibly you'd get a discount with a student card.
I better get a discount. Honestly,
I've really upset you with that news, haven't I?
No.
Also upsetting is that the Tuesday and the Wednesday apparently is only for RHS members.
That's just rude.
Anyway, the Great Pavilion.
Yes.
That is roughly 11,775 square metres or 2.9 acres, which is enough room to park 500 London buses.
Always good to know how many we can get in there.
Of the firms that exhibited at the first show in 1913, they can still be seen at the show today: McBean's Orchids, Blackmore and Langdon, and Kellaway's Plants. So 3 that have been going since 1913.
How much fun! That's amazing.
And then in 1927, there was a campaign to get the RHS to ban foreign exhibits.
What?
Can you imagine that? Just to reduce the competition with British firms.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But the RHS just refused. They said, nope, not doing that. Horticulture knows nothing of nationality.
Yeah, that is
quite
crazy. Quite bloomin' right.
And final fact, it is sponsored by the Newt in Somerset. There's a bit of controversy around that because...
Isn't that a fox hunting place?
Yeah, that's right.
I've heard this.
We probably should put in allegedly somewhere, but... It seems to be clearly there online.
Interesting.
Anyway, so there is that slight controversy between something like the RHS and then fox hunting. Seems a bit at odds, doesn't it?
Bad as bat.
Anyway, what's interesting is what it looks like after all those show gardens have gone.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it's just completely razed to the ground. It is just a mud pit. Because diggers come in and remove these whole gardens. The gardens used not to go anywhere afterwards. That I don't know, they would sell the plants or whatever, but now there's almost an obligation for the garden to be rehomed, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
So we know that with Monty's and Tom Hoblin's, which I'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
But basically it's all dug up.
Yeah.
And then they will just lay down a load of turf, and that's done every year. So it's quite a lot that goes on. Can you imagine all the insects who have been attracted to Chelsea every year, and then suddenly all their flowers disappear?
I think that's quite interesting. I think there are kind of 2 sides to it, where you think, oh, it's great that you're kind of showing these plants, showing them off, and then giving it back to certain communities or whatever, or
really good.
giving it back into urban spaces. It's really lovely. But then you've got to think, what is going on to that land? It's been churned, and it's almost dead land when you think about it, because they kind of if they keep on putting on this turf, they've just got this about 20 centimeters,
I don't know,
depth, maybe something like that. The rest underneath is going to be fairly dead, because it just keeps on having the top layer taken off each time.
I don't know, it's just an interesting thought of what's left when they've all gone, because we sort of forget that that's just we just think, well, it's there for Chelsea Flower Show, and
exactly, we
that's how it always is. But
great.
I'd be interested to know more about the kind of the logistics of all that and how they do manage that land, because it's a substantial piece of land, isn't it?
Completely.
11 acres.
And of course, you've got to think that there are all these other shows like RHS, Hampton Court, and so you've got to think of all these huge spaces being completely destroyed afterwards. Decimated.
Anyway, here's some of the people.
Oh, yes.
Gorgeous Layla Robinson. She had her everlasting flowers in the Great Pavilion.
Yeah.
Love Our Rivers was her exhibit. And she won a silver gilt.
Brilliant.
Big congrats to Layla. Tom Hoblin, who we mentioned earlier, he had his Hospice UK garden. He also got a silver gilt.
Brilliant.
And that garden is being located to St Cuthbert's Hospice in Durham.
Nice.
Lucy Skellon was there as well. She's from Foster Irises, but she wasn't doing any Foster Iris displays. She was helping out Sarah Cook with the Cedric Morris Irises.
Yeah.
And Sarah and Lucy got a gold for that one.
Oh, wow.
Monty Dohrn won Best Dog Garden. That must be a new category.
Best dog garden. I mean, I'm sure he did.
Yeah, his garden's being relocated to Battersea. That's the dog and cat home.
Yeah.
So all those rescue dogs will be able to enjoy it, and the rescue cats, I imagine, will have a little saunter around.
Go, oh, crikey.
Oh,
sweet.
And then the Alpine Garden Society, who we saw the other week in Gardeners World. Alpines and Miniature Gardens, they got a silver gilt.
Great.
And then there was finally Hair Spring Cottage Plants. Do you remember Stella and Malcolm Exley in South Devon?
Oh, yeah.
Who'd moved from North Yorkshire?
Yes.
She had that amazing nursery that she'd made to not look like a nursery.
Yeah, completely. I remember them.
They had all the Camassias.
Yeah.
Well, they got a gold for their nursery.
Oh, brilliant.
So they did very well.
Great stuff.
So those are all my Chelsea facts for this week.
Loved that.
Now then, housekeeping.
Yes.
I just had one bit quickly to mention. Did you have anything?
I don't think so. From 2 weeks ago, this is.
Sorry, yeah, from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Do slugs and snails eat foxgloves?
Oh,
remember we wondered about
that?
So generally, no, they don't, due to the cardiac glycosides.
Okay.
But there are a couple of things that will chomp on foxgloves, so I wonder if it was that you were talking about. There's the angle shades and foxglove pug moths.
Oh.
And they're two types of moths whose larvae can handle the toxicity.
Interesting.
So it could have been what
cool.
you had with your little seedlings.
It's interesting how some moths can take the toxicity, because I know that there are many plants, many trees actually, which get entirely attacked by certain moths. I think sometimes it's called the bombyx variety of moths.
Right.
And there are certain plants which create more of this pigment. It's like a tannin in them that you get in, obviously, grapes, which gives that kind of, I don't know, in wine if it gives that slightly bitterness. I don't know.
Yeah.
Haven't tried it, so can't tell you. But they can make that level go up, and then that level of tannin in their leaves go up, and it stops the moths from eating them. So it's interesting to hear that some moths actually just are absolutely fine with certain toxicity in leaves.
Yeah, it's a funny old world, the natural world, isn't it?
Super cool.
Deep sigh from Hobbs there.
Oh.
Right. So, plant fun facts, Sweet Pea. Do you have one?
Yes. This is my second of the trilogy of pineapples.
Yes.
What do you think pineapples and the pyramids of Giza have in common? It's a mathematical term.
Oh.
Not sure if you've heard of it. Think of an Italian person.
Mario and Luigi.
That is so rude. You can't just immediately think of Mario and Luigi. Well,
Da Vinci. Am I getting any closer?
Not Da Vinci, but his name...
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Even worse. Stop it. Anyways, so It's the whole idea of this golden ratio.
Oh, yes, that was on one of our chit-chats.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's talked about as this, I think it's called Fibonacci sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So Fibonacci came up with this idea. I think it might be Fibonacci, not sure. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Anyways, it's this whole sequence of, and I'm going to tell you the sequence, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea is that the two numbers prior to that number that you're on, add them together, it creates that number.
Mm-hmm.
So 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3, etc, etc. So it's this whole idea of adding two things together creates this one. And when you look at a pineapple, you can kind of create a swirl. Mm-hmm. You got to look at it nobody looks at it like this.
With squinty eyes.
No.
Across your eyes.
But if you look at this kind of strip, it creates a kind of diagonal strip which goes up around it of each little piece. You know, the little kind of
I know exactly
pieces.
what you mean, yeah.
You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Good. Anyways, you can kind of look at it, and if you count them, the number of these little, the little units of the pineapple going up, it's always going to be in the Fibonacci sequence.
Wow.
So it's 5, usually 5, 8, or 13. You find 8 pieces to get you all the way up to the top from the bottom, going up diagonally, following the strip.
Yeah.
And so it gives you this whole idea of the golden ratio, which is meant to be extremely pleasing on the eye, and architects use it to create amazing architecture that just goes, oh, that does just
really
look
works.
good.
I don't know why, but it works.
Yeah. The same thing goes for a snail shell. If you put it kind of facing down, it kind of coils, and bit by bit it goes into the middle. If you were to draw a rectangle around it, you can then cut it up into lots of little squares, and each square equals then the next square.
Right.
So then the Fibonacci sequence can be found, this whole kind of idea of the golden ratio can then be found in the pyramids, which makes a pyramid so pleasing on the eye. Because if you get the height of the slant of the pyramid, divide it by half of the base, you get around about 1.618, which is the number which you'll find if you divide any number in the Fibonacci sequence by the number previous to it. So 8 divided by 5 is about 1.618.
Interesting.
233 divided by 144, around about 1.618. And I thought it was so interesting to understand mathematically why certain things please one's eye, and understanding why a pineapple, you look at it and it's so intricate and just perfect. It just works in this kind of swivel and everything, and the whole certain numbers.
Yeah, it's rather beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And amazing that nature just does that.
I know.
I wonder with the pyramids if they were actually thinking about that, if they just did it by eye and said, that pleases me, I'll do that.
I do wonder, because there were a lot of amazing mathematicians.
Do you think they did that with Stonehenge?
Egypt. Oh, maybe.
Well, that's very interesting. Thank you. All right, well, my animal fun fact just
hit me with it.
Recedes into insignificance now after that. Herbivorous capybaras are the world's biggest rodent, weighing in at up to 150 pounds, which is around 68 kilos. So for context, that's about 3 times the weight of Hobbsy.
Oh, goodness me,
Imagine
Hobbsy.
a massive rat that size. But they're very
is huge.
placid and very friendly, apparently, capybaras.
Oh, sweet.
So that's my animal fun fact.
Oh, I love that. Just a huge Hobbsy walking around the place. So cute.
Well, I think we should have a look at this Gardener's World.
I think we need to get into this one.
This is Gardener's World 2025, Episode 11, Recap.
Off we go.
Well, we're back on familiar ground. It's Monty and Ned at Longmeadow.
Very nice and homely.
Yeah, Monty's talking climbing beans, and he's building a framework with his pea sticks.
He is.
He makes the point of putting the support in before you put in the plant.
Very important.
Damage the plant.
Exactly, which is why we now have permanent structures.
Yeah.
Which are permanently there, and then you have the twine going up.
Yeah, we're pretty sorted with our structures, aren't we?
We are.
And then he mentions about his tulips. So they've all finished. He's cleaned out all the pots ready for summer displays. And he talks about the usual pillar, spiller, filler.
Yep.
In his lovely big pots.
Exactly. So satisfying. And he's putting in all these rather pretty plants just to give a bang. So he had the ginger Assam orange.
Love the ginger Assam orange.
Yeah. Then there was a Cosmos rubenza. That is lovely. It's quite a winey look to it. There was a Petunia Black Velvet, a Calibrachoa Can Double Wine Red. Obviously, that gave off a very wine colour. Mm-hmm. Also called a Mini Petunia, because it does look a lot like a petunia. Or Million Bells. And then finally, there was a Pelargonium Moonflare Burgundy.
Ivy-leafed one.
Yeah.
So the Calibrachoa and the ivy-leafed Pelargonium, those were the spillers.
Yeah.
The Cosmos and the Petunia were the fillers, and the pillar, of course, was that beautiful ginger.
Right in the centre, looking amazing.
And then we head over to see Rekha again at her amazing place in the Peak District. All those terraces that she's built. She's on the side of I think from memory she said, a north-facing hill. Yeah. So she's got a lot of challenges up there, hasn't she, with the climate?
Quite some crazy weather going on.
But her beds all looked like they were flourishing, of course, because it's Rekha. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Completely.
And she talked about how she's focusing on growing 3 food groups: your carbs, protein, and then dense nutrients and vitamins. Yeah. So she's got some potatoes in a pot.
Yeah, she has. She had the Red Duke of York potato, and she's covering them up because I never realised this is why you cover them up. I didn't realise that the tubers came directly off the stem.
Come up the stem, don't they?
So that is something new that I didn't know about. And she then, in another bed, was sowing some peas called Douce Provence, which was very pretty. And she soaked the seed beforehand, which I've never done before.
She says she does it with her beans as well.
Yeah, she said it's just kind of helps them open up quickly, and also mice apparently don't like squishy seeds.
They don't like squishy seeds, which really surprised me.
I can understand that though.
Why?
Well, you don't want super overcooked kind of mush of peas, but a kind of nice pea is a good pea. I can understand it somehow.
But I think a mouse would eat a bowl of porridge.
Oh, yeah. I'd like a bowl of porridge.
Maybe we need to do a little test of a soggy bowl of porridge. We're really going off peas tip. Let's move on.
Can't believe we're just about to talk about a bowl of porridge.
And then she's also showing some peas that she grew earlier in her greenhouse. Yeah. And this is specifically for the pea shoots.
Exactly. So they're crammed in. So she has lots of kind of beautiful little tips that she can
Very nutritious.
Really nutritious. I've never thought about doing it because I purely thought, just get up there,
yeah,
plants.
Exactly.
Go climb for your life.
And then she also talks about maize. And this interested me. I didn't know that maize was a protein as well as a carb.
Yeah. It's rather amazing. And it's not a sweet corn, but it's like a sweet corn.
Yeah.
So,
and I think like sweet corn, it doesn't like having its roots disturbed. Sweet corn doesn't like it either, does it? Yeah,
which I seem to keep on forgetting because I keep on sowing all my sweet corn in one pot, then kind of chucking it out and then planting all the little seedlings
You haven't done that this year, have you?
Did that this year.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Right.
I keep on making the same mistake. I quite literally am the definition of stupid.
Is that definition of stupid or definition of madness?
It's one or the other, but they're both pretty much the same.
They both apply, I think, on
they
occasion.
Both they both apply to you, Sweet Pea. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Oh, but you're my little madness, aren't you?
I'm your little madness.
And then she's also growing Jerusalem artichokes, which are apparently full of iron and fibre and carbs.
Interesting, and also, I think everybody knows, very tasty.
Yeah, and they can run riot, so she says take care in planting them. She's putting hers in pots.
Yeah, and we have just put ours in the ground and it's running riot.
Yep.
It's going crazy. And finally there was the wild garlic, which she said she was so lucky to have because she had this little shady corner, shady damp corner. So she had just loads of wild garlic, and I was like, oh, what I would give to have wild garlic.
Don't you? Yeah. And then she does a spot of cooking. She chops up the wild garlic. She adds it to flour, ginger, chilli and cumin, and then with a bit of oil and some lukewarm water, she mixes it all into this dough, rolls it out.
Yeah, makes a burrito.
And then throws some flatbread dough into a pan, and they look beautiful. But I always think any beige food like that immediately looks so inviting when it's got green in it.
Doesn't it look
it's like
amazing?
Adding parsley. Yeah. It's also like, actually, if you think about garlic bread, if you had garlic bread without the parsley, wouldn't that look disappointing?
It would look so disappointing. But that's why when we do garlic bread, we cram in the parsley like you've never seen it before.
Also because you let parsley go absolutely mental
also
in a bed.
My fault. Yep.
We had to Have a lot of garlic bread.
Yes, we did. Well, I had two things to talk about because obviously I love home growing. And I did think, I wonder what's happened throughout the years with vegetable gardening, because obviously everybody's loving doing it now because it's just like so much fun. And I thought a really interesting time to be vegetable growing was during World War II. The country said, grow as much as possible at home. So people started becoming super self-sufficient. And my favourite thing about it was that, you know how you had all those kind of victory posters and stuff like, you can do it and you are strong and all that kind of thing, the victory for our country, all those kind of things. Well, you had the exact same for vegetable gardening.
Quite right.
And I think they're really good posters. So there's one which says war gardens for victory, and you've got a woman
flexing her biceps,
but with a kind of bag of amazing vegetables produce underneath.
Nice.
Plant a victory garden, that was the biggest thing, because they were called victory gardens, or these vegetable plots, because they were helping keep the country alive.
Yeah.
Another one I really liked, the seeds of victory ensure the fruits of peace. Which I thought was just rather lovely. And finally, ABC to Victory Gardens was a book that came out. And it's all about food for victory and kind of home vegetable growing. And I thought it's quite amazing how big vegetable gardening can be. And we think of it as just kind of like, oh, it's quite fun to have your own produce. But when you think how self-sufficient one can become, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we are trying to become self-sufficient. That is the ultimate goal. But I think it's at times of adversity when it really kicks off. So a similar sort of thing was happening through the COVID lockdowns.
Exactly, yeah, completely.
Everyone was growing loads of veg.
Yeah, I suppose that's...
I think when the chips are down, we all immediately think, right...
Vegetable growing.
Veg growing.
Compost heaps. Let's go for it. So when Rekha talked about getting all the carbs, protein and vitamins, I thought of that.
Yeah. It would be wonderful if we just did that all the time.
It would.
Monty's watering those pots he did up, and then he's into his veg garden, and he has a whole bed of parsley.
Yeah, he does. So finally someone who's thinking like me.
Thinking like you. The difference, Sweet Pea, is he has scores more in terms of beds than we have. That was one precious 4-metre bed that we couldn't let go to just parsley upon parsley.
It was mad.
And we tried to replant them in the more ornamental beds.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
No, they don't like it.
I think we lost every single one, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
Cool.
Very proud of that.
He has everything happening in his. He's got his chard, spring cabbage, garlic, little gems. He's got other lettuces, carrots, broad beans, cavallonero.
Yep.
And then he was planting out some Blauhilde.
Yes, which we have.
We do. And that's very successful and very easy to grow.
Yeah.
Seems to be for us anyway.
It's got an amazing purple colour to it.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then we go over to professional wildlife cameraman Martin Dohrn.
Yes.
And his garden of 60 bees.
I know. It was amazing.
60 species. Incredible.
This was quite an interesting section because with Rachel last year having done her whole section on pollinators, that kind of love relationship with plants, I looked into it more and specifically about bees and moths because I wanted to see the kind of difference between nighttime pollination and daytime pollination.
Well, you did a project for school on the back of that one with Rachel, didn't you?
Yeah. And my teachers thought it was absolutely brilliant. So when I saw this section in Gardener's World, I thought this is absolutely
adding
perfect.
To your knowledge, isn't it?
Exactly, because they said to me there's so many things, so many secrets about the lives of bees, and they said that it would be really good to enrich your idea about talking about the secret lives of bees.
Oh, really?
As well as...
And then this comes along.
And then so I saw this and I was like, yes, yes, thank you.
How unbelievable.
It was coming from heaven above.
It's really spooky, actually, isn't it? How that whole series of events has occurred.
Oh.
It's entirely thanks to Gardener's World that you went and did that presentation.
Completely.
And that presentation contributed to your exams.
Yeah.
So you need to thank Rachel de Tame.
I will thank Rachel de Tame. Oh my gosh.
There were a couple of scientists from Bristol, weren't there?
Yep, completely. So back on this section, we saw some amazing camera shots of different bees. So I'm going to take you through just a few bits that Martin talked about. So most of his plants are naturally seeded around the place, the kind of ones that bees love, so they just kind of seed around the place. So he had primroses, which are loved by the hairy-footed flower bees.
Oh, don't you just love that name?
I mean,
hairy-footed flower bee.
How cool. Oh, so cute. Yes, even Hobbs
thinks so.
Yes. Oh, dandelions, of course. Every bee loves it because of the radial symmetry.
Oh, is that why? Did they also appreciate it?
Yeah, they love the radial symmetry because it's like a launch pad for them.
Yeah.
And they find it very easy to come in from all directions.
Dandelions are wonderful. Couldn't have a garden without them.
No. Then there was also bugle, which I think everybody knows. Bees love, has those beautiful tubular flowers.
But he did say that honeybees can't access them, so there's less competition there.
Yeah, so it's more of a specific pollinator, specific bee. Then there were the mining bees in the ground.
I loved this. So he was lying down on his belly, and do you remember in our chit-chat with Adam Jones, I think at least twice in our recording he talked about, just get down on your belly, lie on your belly on the ground. Everyone should do it.
Yes, he
see
did.
What's there. And this is precisely what Martin was doing.
Completely.
And you just see the world, your garden, from a completely different perspective, and you're kind of in amongst it, aren't you?
Oh, completely.
So it's like a bee's eye view.
Yeah.
Except that would have to be multiplied
by a lot of different
a few hundred lenses. Anyway.
Yeah, but we get the gist.
Yeah.
And it's rather lovely, and so he showed this little open shut door mound that she had. If it's open, she's out. If it's shut, she's in.
This made me a bit sad because he explained how if you mow over it, then the bee's not going to find its home again.
Because
which really upset me
because its environment.
I've really mowed the heck out of our lawn this weekend.
At the same time, we have a huge amount of wild areas, which I think Monty talks about afterwards, with the whole idea of having some messy areas, but then kind of you can keep it looking clean and just have one path.
Of course, Martin suggests that if you do want to cut it, do it at dusk and use a sickle.
You got the giggles.
I'm just imagining me out at dusk with a sickle.
Your knees.
With my knees, trying to sickle that enormous hillside. Are you joking me? Martin, I loved everything you talked about here, but I'm not on board with going out at dusk and sickling, if that's the word, my hill.
Oh my God, I could just see... just see you bent on the ground.
Oh,
sickling.
It's hurting my knees thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh, your poor knees. You'd need Adam Frost sneeze.
Yes, he's got strong knees.
He's got strong knees. He's always on his knees. But back to some more bees. There was also a chocolate male mining bee which landed on his hand.
Oh, wasn't that sweet?
That was so cute.
Yeah, he's at one with the bees.
Yeah. Then obviously making bee shelters, holes in wood for bees. You want to keep it a clean edge. They like to be clean and...
Well, they don't want splinters in their back, do they?
They're sophisticated.
Yeah, I understand that.
And leaf cutter bees, of course, which line their holes. I mean, wasn't that an amazing image?
Gorgeous.
Putting in those kind of cuts of leaf. And then comfrey, of course, is loved by bees. But,
for the big-tongued ones.
Yeah, exactly, because most of them have quite a short proboscis. So they need to have a really long tongue to get to the bottom of it. And then there was a hawk's beard.
Which we have loads of. In fact, I pulled up a whole load. But we still got plenty more. So
we have, exactly.
They'll be all right.
Once again, still doing our part for nature. Brambles as well, we got plenty of those.
We're doing a lot there. I liked how he's actually training his up trellises.
It looks rather pretty.
It does, doesn't it? We've got that one by our front gate
that
just hangs over. And it's in flower at the moment.
That is rather lovely.
Nice.
And it's with a dog rose as well next to it. So the two together, something else. And that is loved by the yellow-faced bee. Then there was a green alkanet, also another loved plant. And of course, forget-me-nots.
Yeah.
Which nomad, cuckoo and mining bees love.
Brilliant. Well, we have loads of that as well.
Yeah, completely. So, of course, this section made me think I need to know a lot more about bees if I'm going to be doing a talk about bees and pollination and stuff like that. So I thought, right, sweet pea, we're going to look up some bee fun facts. So I delved into this. So you ready for some bee fun facts?
I love anything about bees.
Yeah, these are some really cool fun facts. Some rather sweet ones. So ancient Egyptians believed bees were the tears of the sun god Ra.
Oh.
This is a really cool one. The name Melissa is derived from the Greek word for honeybee.
Oh, is it?
Isn't that cool?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so if you're naming anyone Melissa, she's called honeybee.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Awesome. The first organised beekeeping kind of nus happening.
Wait, back it up. So nus is the best you can come up with. Beekeeping nus.
Beekeeping nus. Yes, that's what I can do. That's the best I can do. It was the ancient Egyptians again. So they started beekeeping in 2500 BC.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. And I mean, obviously, the beekeeping was just collecting the tears of the sun god, when you think about it.
Because the bees are the tears of the sun god.
The bee, yeah.
Not the honey.
Yeah, they thought that bees were the tears. Yeah. And then, this is so cool. I mean, the Egyptians had a lot to do with bees. I think it's very cool. They understood them. There is a still edible 3,000-year-old honey in Tutankhamun's tomb, which was opened in 1922.
Well, this is why it's always funny. I think, again, Adam Jones mentioned it on his chit-chat, because he's a beekeeper.
He is.
He does beekeeping-ness, Sweet Pea.
He does do beekeeping-ness.
And he says how he has to put a sell-by date, use-by date on it.
I know. Absolutely crazy.
And he's still got that 3,000-year-old Egyptian honey. Madness, isn't it?
I'd like to try it.
Well, I was interested in a couple of different things.
Oh, yes.
One was the music that was playing over it. It was quite off-brand, I thought, for Gardener's World.
Yeah. It was quite weird then going back to Monty afterwards with the kind of birds singing and the kind of calmness of the dappled light. And
after this quite sort of moody, dramatic music.
Yeah.
Well, it's called Heart of a Woman by James George and Jennifer June.
Interesting.
But I wasn't sure of the significance of it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out in time. But that did just seem not quite the usual music that they put on in the background. Now, coincidentally, a few months ago, I was trying to find Martin's film that he's done.
Oh, really?
Called My Garden of 1,000 Bees. And because he's won all sorts of awards. It's a 50-minute film, and it won the Wildscreen Golden Panda Award in 2022, which is apparently the most prestigious prize in the natural world film and TV industry.
Oh, interesting. That's
so I was
amazing.
trying to find it because you were doing all your pollinator stuff, and I had read about this film, and I've seen the trailer of it. Stunning, but I can't find it anywhere. The only places it seems to be available are if, I don't know, a community are doing a screening of it for the local community in a local church or whatever. So I will see if I can get hold of Martin and see if there's a link to it where we could actually watch it, because I think it would be, especially for you and what you're doing, a really fascinating film to watch.
Very interesting.
Monty's talking about his citrus. He brought that out a month ago, all his citrus trees. And he didn't do anything with them. He just left them out to acclimatise.
He did.
And now he's doing some pruning.
Yeah.
So he said you don't want to just sort of take them down by half, as you'll just get a massive side shoots. So either pinch out or go back to the main stem.
Sounds good.
And another thing he said is you want to be able to see through it, get some air through it.
Yeah, get some light to the fruits which are forming.
Also, helps with getting the sun on the fruits.
Of course, yeah.
And then he was scraping the top layer of compost off.
Yep.
And he puts a layer of sieved garden compost on top again.
Lovely.
And then completely floods it with water.
Yeah.
Really flooded it. It was just gushing out the bottom.
But that's exactly what they'd like. They want a waterfall going through them.
Yeah, but doesn't that just mean all the nutrients in the soil just get swept away? I know he's feeding them as well, but
I think it's good because it's getting the nutrients from the top all the way down to the bottom.
And then he's doing some hoeing in the veg beds. He uses his favourite hoe and then also this little blunt knife. We have a lot of chat about pulling up weeds.
Exactly.
Little weeds. And then we go over to Arit, and she's doing a series on flowers.
Yeah.
And she is meeting with Anna Vallois-Davies.
Ah.
Valois sounds very French, doesn't it?
Does sound
Davies doesn't.
No.
At all.
Sounds like a mix of two, which is really cool.
And Arit gives the fact that 86% of UK cut flowers is imported.
I know, which
is shocking, isn't it?
It is so shocking because
86%.
Obviously we're a nation who loves cut flowers. I mean, we all love a good cut flower.
Really do, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many florists around the UK compared to in Europe. I mean,
yeah,
I'm thinking across the continent, Spain, France, Italy. I don't really associate Germany. When I've visited there.
No,
I don't know about Germany, but certainly those three.
Yeah,
more Mediterranean-y countries.
Yeah, and I know that especially when I was younger and we didn't have much of a garden, you always had your bought yourself this really pretty bouquet of flowers.
Well, I'd always have tulips when it was the season.
That was lovely.
On the kitchen table.
Yep.
And always had freesias as well.
Yeah.
Just because I like the smell.
Yeah.
And they looked pretty.
They do
on the cabinets that they were on.
Yeah.
But now we've got a garden, it's more just stuff from the garden.
Exactly, which is
around.
So beautiful.
It really is. You do beautiful posies. I love, let me just put this on record, I love it when you do me posies. You are welcome to do more.
Okay, I got the gist, thank you.
So Anna is growing all her flowers in her not huge garden.
No.
So she hasn't got an enormous amount of space. And this is for her cut flower business, Spring Cottage Flower Co.
Yeah.
And she shows us where her flowers are. She tells us how she uses leaf mould and she's no dig.
Yeah.
She shows us the smallest greenhouse possible
for
someone who's doing what she's doing. How she is managing with that small space,
amazing,
blows my mind. She's obviously very efficient with the space.
Exactly, because when you think about it, so many people with a bigger space might just do thousands of seeds and then kind of take the best ones. But I suppose she's really meticulously looking after each seedling, because when Arit and Anna went into the greenhouse,
squeezed themselves in, cheek by jowl,
and the cameraman somehow, poor cameraman. I felt you've got to think about that. You've got to think about the cameraman.
You're imagining. I saw your hand. You are imagining someone was standing at the entrance, shoving the cameraman in as well,
kind of squishing him in
with a foot and a hand. You get in there too.
It reminds me of The Office, where the cameraman had to get into like the car and stuff. It's really difficult places. Anyways, but when they went in there, each seedling was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, everything was looking amazing. And
she also uses all her windowsills in the house as well, doesn't she?
Yeah, exactly.
She has imagine what it's like.
She has a little coal frame as well outside for hardening off. Yeah. And so she had lots of different flowers, and she said she tries and gets them to be seasonal flowers as well. So she had all the tulips, which were looking amazing. There was an apricot parrot tulip and some ranunculus as well in there. And then she was putting out and hardening off some calendula, and in the greenhouse was some cosmos and sunflowers for later in the season. And then she was also planting out some scabious. So she's got this kind of succession of flowers going. And I think that's rather nice to get the proper kind of seasonal flowers.
And it was all seasonal. Her greenhouse isn't heated, so she can't rely on that either.
No.
And she did mention about how, you know, it can be really up and down the temperature.
Yeah, completely.
So it's difficult when you're relying on something like climate that you can't influence in any way.
I can imagine it would be quite stressful.
Oh, very stressful.
Yeah, hugely stressful.
I think I always think that with any of the flower stuff. Or even when you look at, for example, growing grapes, how you're so reliant on the climate. And if you have a bad year, you can lose just a whole batch, can't you?
Yeah, it's quite something.
But that's just generally farming. And then they had those pretty posies at the end.
Yeah.
Arit and Anna made.
Utterly gorgeous. My favourite was Arit's, because I love the blue and the orange together. That is just gorgeous.
Anna called it a jam jar posy. So she does gift bouquets and jam jar posies, like we saw. This is what she sells, and they're available to order from her from April until the first frost. She can also provide bespoke flowers for events such as weddings and funerals, and then she dries a lot of her flowers too.
Oh yeah.
So she'll dry them in the summer, and then she'll use them to create everlasting wreaths during the winter months.
Oh, lovely.
So you can get something all year round.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
She is part of a group called Flowers from the Farm, I haven't seen this before. I wonder how many other flower sellers that we've spoken to are part of it. You can't actually look on a directory of the members. All you can do is go onto the website, say what type of flower you would like. So that would be, I'd like a bouquet or something for funerals, weddings, wholesale, pick your own.
Yeah.
And then you say the area. So for example, Alex Mitchell.
Yes.
With Mitchell Flower Farm, you would put in pick your own flowers, Kent.
Yeah.
And then it presumably would bring her up. I did do a search on that. I couldn't find Alex on there, so I don't know if she's part of it. But the Flowers from the Farm they describe themselves as being the UK's leading professional trade association for independent flower growers, representing a network of over 1,000 members nationwide.
Oh, cool.
And they talk about how they're dedicated to advancing agroecological growing practices that prioritise environmental responsibility and financial sustainability.
Yeah, of course. That's great.
So their mission is to empower their members with knowledge, resources and opportunities to be able to sort of really thrive in their businesses.
Oh, brilliant.
So an interesting group that I hadn't come across, but I'll put a link to it on our pod notes.
Yeah, I think that's fabulous.
Monty's looking at his cornflowers before he then dons his waders and heads over to the pond to a job he's been putting off, which I completely relate to. I think I've put off every job.
There are so many jobs where it's just like, I don't want to.
And he's thinning out his water lilies. He said the leaves should all be flat on the surface, not all sort of up and in each other's grill.
Faces. They kind of go vertically up, which is just a weird look for water lilies.
And he said you should be dividing them every 4 to 5 years. And I thought, phew, because I dread when we have to do that with ours. I think with ours, because we've got such difficult access, I should create some kind of pulley system and dangle you in from above. Like Mission Impossible, just dangle you there and you can just horizontally lie there and
oh my gosh.
That would work. We'll work on that. We've got a couple of years to work on that.
In the latest Mission Impossible, not the latest, the second latest, the part 1, isn't there a bit where he has to go into this room where if he moves even slightly or if the temperature goes up, he needs to get this chip?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think that's in loads of them, isn't it?
Oh, I have no idea, but he's just flying. That's me.
Okay,
I'll be like that.
And once he takes them out, he chops them up and then he puts them into these colander-style pots, this sort of special pond plant pots, which look like a colander really. Put some hessian in and then aquatic soil. She said it's important because it's heavier. We use normal soil, A, because we didn't really know any better, but B, once we did know better, we really couldn't be bothered to go to the garden centre and get some. So we just used compost and it's been fine.
It has been fine.
I wouldn't be able to say there was any issue, but I totally understand the need for aquatic soil, and I have since bought some.
Yeah, you
haven't used it.
No, not at all. And you did say put grit on top as well, because it kind of just weighs it all down.
It stops the fish going and nibbling around.
And stops it just floating off, which I think we did have 1 or 2 problems with floating offage.
A bit. But nothing to worry about.
No,
really.
Nothing to worry about.
But we do need to order more pond plants.
We do. And just to quickly say, he had the yellow marbled leaf lily and the Nymphaea candida, which is a white lily.
That's right. Yeah, very pretty. Then we go to Sharnee Gates.
Yes.
Head gardener at the Old Rectory in East Sussex.
Wasn't she such a dude?
Such a dude. I love how she was in the world of modelling. Couldn't be more different to being in the world of gardening.
Yeah.
Constant dirt under the fingernails.
Exactly. It was quite amazing, and still kind of going and getting qualifications in gardening. Brilliant. And everything.
So she did volunteer work. I think it was during lockdown, wasn't it? She did volunteer work because modelling was on hold.
Yeah.
And she really enjoyed that. That really opened her eyes. That and the wildfires that they had in Australia in 2019. Yep. So she transitioned from a career in modelling, where she'd been doing that for 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, long time.
Went to RHS Wisley.
Yeah.
Did some work there. Did an apprenticeship.
Yes.
An RHS apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like immediately coming out of there, she was headhunted essentially.
Yeah.
To work at the Old Rectory.
It just kind of shows this kind of perfect person, perfect place.
But how incredible. She must have been so elated when she got that call.
Yeah.
You know, she's come out with her qualifications. Now what?
Oh my gosh.
Nothing. I'd just jump straight into this job.
Yeah, exactly.
At a beautiful, beautiful garden.
It must have been so exciting for her.
So exciting. So we're at this beautiful garden It's got a decently running stream running alongside it. You know, it was really flowing well, wasn't it?
Completely.
And she's pulling up nettles, and then she's using those for her nettle tea.
Yeah, very important.
Like you, Sweet Pea.
Completely. And there was also this Carex pendula, which apparently can go crazy.
Which, of course, we know about because we have it growing by our front door and up through the gaps in our patio.
It does.
It looks nice, but it does just spread. So and once it takes hold, especially in patio, it's really hard to get up.
It is very difficult.
We had to use do you remember we used a screwdriver to try and get it?
Oh, yes!
To pick it out.
Screwdrivers are useful for many things.
Yeah, just purely for weeding. This occasion, though. That can't be reused for anything else.
But in this other area, kind of further along the stream, there was this very amazingly wild but curated part of bluebells and irises and wild strawberries and ajuga, which is also bugleweed, and cuckoo flower. And she said how this took so much time to weed, get all of the kind of bits and pieces out so that it could look like it was wild but have the things that they wanted in. But kind of I thought it looked amazing, and that's the really kind lovely, of didn't it? Garden I would love swathes of that. Yeah,
it really did look good, didn't it?
It did look,
it was flourishing.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then to a completely different area of the garden. I like this garden. It's got lots of different bits and bobs to it. There were 1,600 tulips, which was amazing. And then there were red ones and white ones and kind of lilac colours. And they would all vary depending on what then the later seasonal flowers were. And so they kind of could keep the same palette going throughout the season. Yeah. Which is quite a good idea.
And then I also really liked those little teepees that she made.
The wildlife stacks.
Yeah, and she would hammer in the twigs into the ground. Yeah. So it came up like a teepee, and then she'd kind of fill it. Yeah. With whatever.
Exactly. And
even that Carex she put in.
Completely. And she said you can mix things together. So she had some apple tree clippings. And just keep on adding to it. And she said, obviously,
let it mulch down.
Yeah, completely, which is great.
It's a wildlife home in the meantime. I liked that because it makes a feature of what we do, which looks less like a feature and more like we've just dumped a load of branches.
When actually it's just the same thing, but in two different forms.
It's the same thing, but Sharnee's is far prettier.
Of course.
So I could imagine us having an area we could have a whole load of bigger teepees and put all our bits and pieces in.
Completely.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Would be nice.
And then at the end, she says how modelling got her to England and discovering English gardens, and she has no regrets leaving the modelling industry. Oh. Well, the Old Rectory, so I think it was briefly mentioned that this had been designed by Arne Maynard. Oh. So it's a 4-acre estate, and it's owned by Lord Barker of Battle.
Oh, that is quite a name.
That is. And his partner, George Prazas. Greek background, so I don't know how you'd pronounce Prazas.
Also a very cool name.
But Lord Barker of Battle, he is a former Conservative Party politician, and he was 2010 to 2014, he was Minister of State for Energy and Climate Change, and then in 2015 he was appointed to the House of Lords.
Oh, crikey.
Well, the garden is available through the NGS. And
brilliant.
The way they describe it, and taking some descriptions from Arne and Sharnee as well, they describe how the rectory basically sits on top of a hill, which gives the garden then some really quite challenging topography, which we can relate to. So when Arne was designing it, he did it with a D-shaped lawn with these kind of curved grass steps going around, and then to take you down. Yeah. And then he framed it with curving borders, and then there's kind of a gentle visual transition back into the woodlands beyond.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a variety of distinct sections. So there's a knot garden. I think we saw a clip of that. Yeah. A cuttings garden, the orchard, a pond with that stream. Oh, yeah. A copse and a vegetable patch. And Sharnee talks about how they use a soft pastel colour scheme. Yeah. They use delphiniums, sort of very pale ones, and they use white umbellifers to kind of intermingle. And then they have an abundance of roses. And she described it as creating an atmosphere reminiscent of a pre-Raphaelite painting, which I thought was a good description.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And then she also talks about how those soft pastels contrast beautifully with, they've got a load of dark copper beech as well.
That must be really lovely.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And then they have box topiary.
Crikey, I wonder how they're looking after that.
Well, a lot of effort, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So a quintessentially romantic English garden.
It did look like that to me.
There's some open days to the public on Wednesday the 11th and Thursday the 12th of June. Pre-booking is essential. I'll put a link to that in the pod notes.
Yeah.
And then just a tiny bit about Sharnee. She really, really interests me. I love the ambition.
Yeah.
And there was an interview with her where she talks a bit about her modelling career, and she was in it very young, I think 14.
Oh my gosh.
And she mentioned something that I don't even think about because it's not an industry I'm into, but how you can be as young as 14 or 16 and you're suddenly dumped in an unknown foreign city.
Oh no.
For some sort of modelling contract, and you've got to find your way around on your own. You know, I think about you and how you're worried about going off to university where you're still very much looked after at uni.
Yeah.
And someone like Sharnee, she must have become so streetwise at such a young age to just travel the world like that. It's quite a scary thought. If I think of you, my little baby girl, just off somewhere in an unknown city on your own.
I don't want to think of that.
I would have travelled everywhere with you.
Yeah, you would have been by my side.
Wrapped you completely in cotton wool.
Thank you.
But she talks about in the interview about her transition from modelling to gardening. This is, quite a big deal that a lot of journalists are picking up on because it's such an interesting transition, isn't it?
Yeah, so cool.
But in an interview when she was 16 years old, so before gardening was even a twinkle in her eye.
Oh yeah.
She was asked, what would you do if you weren't modelling? And she said, I'd do something creative, maybe follow my parents into art or do something like writing. I really love literature and painting. So she's got this artistic side to her. And that's cool. Always helpful, isn't it, in gardening?
Completely. And that's why she had that really good comparison with that art painting of the garden. Yeah, well, and the
exactly,
colours.
The pre-Raphaelite paintings.
Completely.
And then another question that she answered that stood out for me was, how did you first get into modelling? And she said she was scouted in her hometown of Perth. So she's been scouted twice.
That's amazing.
Really, by the sounds of it.
She's been scouted a lot.
And another interesting thing is, what's your ethnicity?
Yes.
Because she's got really unusual looks, hasn't she? So she's a whole mixture of stuff. Kurdish, Burmese, English, Aboriginal and Welsh.
I mean, that is awesome. That is so cool.
And then also probably a little congrats is due to Sharnee because she's getting married to her fiancé next year, 27th of March, in Perth, to Harry Kelf.
Big celebrations.
Big celebrations. Finally, we have Monty in his wooden greenhouse where he's storing his non-hardy plants.
Yeah, so you've got all the aeoniums and he's popping them out to do a nice display.
Yeah. Then we have jobs for the weekend.
Yep.
Net the strawberries, Chelsea chop perennials, support broad beans.
Yes, all good stuff.
Good stuff. So, Sweet Pea, your favourite plant from this episode?
It was the apricot parrot tulip.
Oh, phew, I thought you were going to say what I've got.
Apricot parrot.
At Anna's place.
Yeah, Anna's place. Thought it was stunning.
Well, mine's also from Anna's place, and it was the peachy, I suppose, apricot-y coloured geums that she had.
Oh, of course, lovely.
They were pretty.
In the little bouquet.
And your top takeaway?
Top takeaway was Sharnee making...
the teepees.
The teepees?
Oh, no.
Your face dropped.
That's mine as well.
Okay, I think we can have the same.
I think we're allowed.
Because it was perfect. It was hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah. So next week,
6th
of June,
what have we got?
Monty is busy in the cottage garden. As the roses begin to bloom, he's inserting a colourful splash of underplanting to add floral icing to the upcoming display. And in the veg garden, there are carrots to thin and tomatoes to plant out. Adam Frost goes to a beautiful walled garden in Essex, brought back to life thanks to the tireless devotion of one woman.
Oh.
And Nick Bailey explains why his headline show garden for 2025's Gardeners World Live is all about making a meter matter. His aim is to inspire everyone to transform even the smallest outdoor space for the good of the planet. There's a man whose sheer determination has turned a barren new build plot into a wonderful haven for plants and wildlife.
Oh, lovely.
Plus a passionate horticulturalist who loves peonies so much she rented a whole field to grow them.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that last one.
Definitely something to look forward to.
All about peonies. Wowzers.
Well, thank you very much for listening.
Yes, and of course, always nice to give a good thumbs up, subscribe, like, whatever, the hearts, just
follow.
All that good stuff. Happy emojis. Very happy with those. 5 stars.
We love a happy emoji. We love 5 stars.
Yep, and just brings a smile to everybody's faces.
It does, especially Sweet Peas.
Especially mine. Yay.
And we will see you next week.
Yes, we will.
Bye bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mummy Bear.